When you're solving an absolute value equation, the first thing you always check for is that your absolute value is by itself on one side of the equation, okay? So you must always make sure absolute value is isolated. Before you solve. Okay, so let's take a look at our first equation. We have the absolute value of x divided by 4 minus 6 equals 2. So this is a case where your absolute value is not alone, right? It's got that negative 6. So your first step would be to move the 6. So how would we move the 6? Positive. Opposite, which would be positive, right? So we would add a positive 6. So those would go away. So we would still have our absolute value of x divided by 4 now equal to a negative 2 plus 6 would be a 4. Okay? And then thinking about what we had done previous class period, how many solutions we would have. In this case, we would have 2 solutions, right?
How do you get that? How do you get 2 solutions?
So 4, right? There are 2 numbers that are 4 units away from 0 on the number line, right? What number is 4 units from 0 on the number line? 4 and also negative 4. Okay. So this is where we get that disjunction. Now we're going to split them up. So here's what, this is how this is different from just linear. So now you have those 2 possibilities. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the inside out, okay? So I'm going to pull out the x divided by 4, okay? And it has 2 possibilities. It can either be the positive 4, or there's your disjunction, or that inside can be the negative 4, right? And so now you have 2 separate equations that you will just proceed to solve like you usually do. So if you have x divided by 4, how are you going to get rid of that? Yeah. What did you say? Plus or times 4? Yes. So we would get rid of that by multiplying by the 4, both sides. Not working. So these would cancel over here. X would equal 4 times 4, 16. Okay. Or, let's do the second one. That's going to do the same thing, right? Multiply both sides by 4. Those would cancel. X is equal to negative 16. And that is your disjunction, and that is your answer. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and ask myself that question. Not like that. Okay. Is it isolated?
Yeah.
Yes. So yes. So in that case, I can look at that 13. How many solutions will we have? 2. Okay. And so now let's pull the inside out. So now I will have my x plus 9 equal to the positive 13, or my x plus 9 will equal the what? What's my second setup? Negative 13. Okay. And then I just go back and solve each one of them separately. Your first one, x would equal what? 4.
Wait, do you what do you multiply by what in this one?
You're going to subtract the 9.
Oh,
It's x plus 9, so you're going to subtract. And then your second one, your or, what's going to happen when you solve that one? What are you going to get for x? Negative 2.
Wait, were you supposed to do
Negative, wouldn't it be negative
22, right?
22? Yeah. There you go. You can move that as a negative, right? And we're going to add them. Okay. Okay, so we need to, first of all, check. Is it isolated? No. So no, so let's fix it. What do we need to move? Okay, add 8, okay. So the absolute value of 6x equal to 30. Isolated now?
Yeah.
How many solutions? 2. There's 2 points on the number line that are 30 units from 0, right? So let's pull the 6x out. So the 6x will be the positive 30, or the 6x will be the negative 30.
Wait, what if you try to solve it the other way that you just showed us?
You,
You couldn't, right?
which other way was that?
The one that you just did, like you set up 6x minus 8 equals negative 22.
No, you
You
couldn't.
do it like that?
Okay, so let's solve our first one. 6x equal to 30, x would be what? 5. Or 6x equal to negative 30, x would be negative 5. Okay? You getting the hang of it?
Kind of.
So you have to remember that in your absolute value, since it's distance, on the number line, there's always 2 points that have the same distance to 0. The positive one and the negative one. So we make that little split. Okay? So that's what makes it different from the linear. Okay?